Have you ever stopped to think? Really think? That the key to living longer after 60 might not be in a pill or a fancy diet or even a breakthrough treatment, but in something as ordinary, as simple as washing one small, overlooked part of your body. Now, I know that might sound strange at first, but hear me out. Because if you're 65, 70, or even pushing 80, and you're starting to notice your body slowing down, aches in the morning, a little less energy, maybe you're more cautious when you walk across the room, this is something you absolutely need to hear. See, there's a reason this part of your body gets ignored. It's not glamorous. It's not something we talk about over dinner. But the truth is, neglecting it could quietly shave years off your life. I've seen it happen too many times. Someone brushes off a little soreness, a bit of dryness, maybe even a bad smell, and says, "It's just old age, right?" But it's not just anything. It's a warning sign. And the sad part? Most people don't realize it until it's too late, until a small problem becomes a hospital visit, or worse. But you're here now. And that means you care. Not just about staying alive, but about living well. Because let's face it, after 60, every day matters. Every moment with your grandchildren, every sunrise, every walk in the garden, every story shared over tea, they're priceless. And when it comes to protecting those moments, it's the little things that count. In this video, I'm going to show you the one body part you need to wash every single day. And no, it's not what you're thinking. I'll also share 5 powerful reasons why giving this area just a few minutes of care each day could protect your heart, your balance, your dignity, and yes, your life. By the end, you'll see this simple habit in a whole new light. One that could make the difference between a slow decline and graceful, healthy aging. So, before we dive in, I want to ask you something. If you're ready to learn how to care for yourself, or someone you deeply love. If you believe that knowledge, love, and daily attention can change the course of someone's later years, then comment "I'm here" below. Let me know you're watching. Let me know you care. Because at Elders Wisdom Institute, we believe wisdom isn't just about what you know. It's about what you do with it. And if you're ready, let's begin. Let's start with something most people never think twice about. Your feet. Now I know, feet don't exactly come up in everyday conversation. But if you're over 60, they should. Let me tell you about John. John was 72. A retired bus driver. Friendly guy. Loved fishing on the weekends and watching old westerns on TV. He started feeling a little numbness in his toes, just a tingle here and there. He shrugged it off. Thought, "It's just age catching up with me." A month later, John was in the hospital with a serious foot infection. The worst part? He didn't even feel it coming. By the time he noticed the redness and swelling, it had already spread. The doctors told him if he'd waited just a few more days, he could have lost the foot entirely. Now, you might wonder, how does that happen? Well, as we age, circulation to our extremities, especially our feet, starts to weaken. That means your feet get less blood flow, less oxygen, less immune support. It's like a slow traffic jam in your body, and that opens the door for infections to sneak in. Even the tiniest cut, the smallest blister, a bit of cracked skin from dryness. They become risky. But here's where it gets even trickier. Many older adults, especially those with diabetes or nerve issues, can't feel what's going on in their feet. So the signs? They go unnoticed. What starts as a minor irritation can turn into a deep infection, quietly, slowly, until it's too late. And here's the thing. Most people think they're already doing enough. They stand in the shower, let the water run down, maybe give a quick rub with soap. That's it. But feet are different. They're tucked away in socks and shoes all day. They sweat. They swell. They collect bacteria and dead skin without making a fuss. That daily rinse? It's not enough. So what should you do? It's simple. Every day, when you wash, take an extra 2 minutes. Use a mild, non-irritating soap. Lather gently with a soft brush or washcloth, get between the toes, under the nails, around the heel. Then rinse, and, this part's just as important, dry thoroughly. Moisture left between the toes becomes a breeding ground for fungus. And while you're at it, take a moment to really look. Check for redness, swelling, dry cracks, discoloration, anything that feels off. These little moments of attention? They might just save you from weeks in a hospital bed, or worse. Because when it comes to aging well, staying on your feet, literally, makes all the difference. But infection isn't the only risk hiding in plain sight. There's another danger. One that can turn your daily routine upside down in an instant. Let's talk about that next. Now let's talk about something that happens all too often. And changes everything in the blink of an eye. Margaret was 78. She lived alone, kept her garden tidy, and never missed Sunday service. But her eyesight wasn't what it used to be, and her back ached more than she let on. One day, while walking across her living room, her toenail, thick, untrimmed, caught the edge of a small rug. Just a little snag. That's all it took. She fell hard. Broke her hip. And that one moment sent her down a path of surgeries, rehab, and months of lost independence. Now, most people would say, it was the rug, maybe she needed better slippers, or there wasn't enough light. And sure, those things matter. But what no one thought about, what Margaret never thought about, was her feet. See, when feet are neglected, they don't just look rough. They start to function differently. Calluses build up and throw off your balance. Dry, cracked soles lose grip on the floor. Overgrown nails press into your shoes, changing the way you walk, making each step unstable without you even realizing it. You start to shift your weight to avoid discomfort. That changes your posture. And before you know it, your risk of falling goes way, way up. It's like walking with a pebble in your shoe every day, except you don't feel it right away. But your body does. Here's what's surprising, most people never think their feet are to blame. They look at the floor, the shoes, the lighting, but not the feet carrying them every step of the way. And that's the danger. Because the truth is, falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury in older adults. And many of them start with something as preventable as long toenails or dry heels. So what can you do? Make it part of your daily routine. When you wash your feet, go a step further. After drying, use a gentle moisturizer, especially on the heels. That keeps the skin supple and less prone to cracking. Keep nails trimmed, not too short, not too long. And if you have trouble reaching them, ask for help. There's no shame in that. In fact, it's one of the smartest things you can do for yourself. And finally, check for calluses or thick spots. These can throw off your gait without you even noticing. It's about more than just hygiene. It's about preserving your mobility, your freedom, your ability to move through the world safely. But as serious as falls are, there's another hidden risk most people never associate with their feet. And it can silently harm one of your body's most essential systems, without a single warning sign. Let's talk about that next. Now here's something that might surprise you. Your heart and your feet are more connected than you think. Let me tell you about Elaine. Elaine was 68. A retired librarian with a soft spot for crossword puzzles and gardening. She'd been healthy most of her life, no major issues. But during a routine checkup, her doctor noticed something strange. her feet were colder than usual. The skin looked pale. The pulse in her ankles was faint. Turns out, it wasn't just a foot issue. It was a warning sign. Elaine's circulation was poor, so poor that her heart wasn't pumping blood effectively to her lower limbs. That checkup led to further tests, an early detection of a cardiovascular condition she had no idea was developing. Now thankfully, they caught it early. But what if no one had looked? What if she had gone on thinking her cold feet were just part of getting older? That's the thing. Most people expect chest pain to signal heart trouble. They wait for tightness or shortness of breath. But for many older adults, the very first signs start at the bottom. Cold feet. Discoloration. Swelling around the ankles. Sores that don't heal or that take too long to go away. Your feet are like a mirror reflecting what's happening deeper inside your body, especially with your heart and blood vessels. And if you're not washing, inspecting, and paying attention, you miss those early clues. That daily foot care routine? It's not just about keeping clean. It's your frontline defense against silent threats. So, here's a simple habit to build right now. As you wash your feet each day, pause and feel. Are your feet colder than usual? Do they look bluish or pale? Are your ankles more swollen than they were yesterday? Do you notice any numbness, or tingling, or skin that looks thinner or more fragile? These subtle changes could be your body whispering that something's wrong long before it shouts. And trust me, when it comes to heart disease, the earlier you listen, the better your chances. So don't ignore what your feet are trying to tell you. Because caring for them might just be the most unexpected and effective way to care for your heart. But as vital as your heart is, there's something else on the line too. Something that defines your quality of life every single day. Let's talk about your independence and how your feet quietly protect it. Let's talk about something that matters to every single person listening right now. Independence. Because it's not just about walking without help. It's about living life on your own terms. Now let me share George's story. George was 75. A retired school principal. Sharp mind, loved crossword puzzles, always had a joke ready. But George also had diabetes. He got a small sore on the side of his foot. He didn't feel it, his nerves had dulled over the years. Didn't notice the redness. Didn't realize it was growing. By the time he did, it was too late. The infection had spread fast. The doctors managed to save his leg, but he never regained full mobility. A man who once took daily walks around the neighborhood now needed a wheelchair to get around the house. Not because of a stroke or a major accident, but because of a sore on his foot that went unseen and untreated. That's how fast things can change. You see, foot problems, ulcers, infections, even severe dryness are the leading cause of mobility loss in older adults. And yet, they're some of the most preventable. Mobility isn't just about legs and hips. It starts at the ground. With your feet. Every step you take relies on them being strong, stable, and pain-free. But if you ignore them, if they become cracked, swollen, or infected, suddenly walking becomes painful, then difficult, then risky, and then, slowly, you stop doing it. You walk less. You move less. Your muscles weaken. And just like that, independence starts to slip away. And here's the thing, many people think that kind of decline is just part of aging. They say, well, I'm getting older. This is normal. But the truth? Much of it comes from simple neglect. Neglect that begins with something as small as skipping a wash, or ignoring a little dryness, or thinking a callus is no big deal. That's why daily care matters. Wash your feet. Moisturize them, especially around the heels and soles. Look at them closely. If something doesn't seem right, act. Because every day you care for your feet, you're doing more than just hygiene. You're investing in your freedom. Your ability to get out of bed, go to the kitchen, walk to the front porch, or stroll through the park. You're protecting your independence. And isn't that what we all want? To live life on our own feet, with dignity, for as long as we possibly can? But we're not done yet. There's one more reason to wash this part of your body daily. And it's the most surprising one of all. Let's talk about how your feet affect your mind. Let me tell you what Lillian said. She was 75. Bright eyes, always wore a cardigan, and had a quiet strength about her. One afternoon, during a simple conversation at her assisted living home, she looked up and said, "I feel like I've lost myself when I can't take care of my own body." And it stayed with me. Because it wasn't about pain. It wasn't about her memory, or her medications, or even mobility. It was about dignity. You see, cleanliness isn't just about staying healthy. It's about how we feel about ourselves. When we stop caring for our bodies, when basic grooming is forgotten or dismissed, something inside begins to shift. Mood dips. Energy fades. And slowly, confidence disappears. You may have noticed it in a loved one, someone who used to dress sharp, always combed their hair, suddenly withdrawing. Not wanting to be seen. Not wanting to go out. And sometimes we assume, well, they're old now. They probably don't care anymore. But let me be clear, that assumption is wrong. They do care. They care deeply. Because when we lose the ability, or the opportunity, to care for our own bodies, we lose a piece of our identity. And that can take a heavy toll on our mental health. Neglected hygiene isn't just about odors or discomfort. It leads to real emotional pain. Low self-esteem. Anxiety. Even depression. But here's the beautiful truth. A simple, consistent foot care routine can be incredibly empowering. Whether you're doing it for yourself or gently helping someone you love, it's a daily act of respect, of compassion, of saying, "You matter. You're worth the care. Your dignity is still yours." Wash the feet. Dry them gently. Massage in a soft moisturizer. Check for any changes. And maybe, as you do, take a moment to talk, to listen, to connect. Because those moments, those small, quiet rituals, can restore something deeper than health. They can restore hope. And that's what this is really about. These 5 reasons? They're not just about hygiene. They're not just about preventing falls, or heart problems, or infections. They're about life. About dignity. About lasting joy in the years that matter most. I know this isn't easy to hear. Facing these changes, noticing the decline in someone you love. Watching them struggle with something they used to do effortlessly. Like walking across the room, bending down to put on socks, or just standing tall with confidence. It's hard. It's emotional. And sometimes, it feels unfair. You remember who they used to be, full of energy, always busy, always capable. And now, they hesitate before standing up. They wince. They seem tired more often than not. And you wonder, when did it start changing? But here's something I want you to remember with all your heart, caring for these little things, like a simple daily foot wash. It isn't just about staying clean. It's not just a health tip tucked into a routine. It's love in action. It's saying, "I see you. I respect you. I want you to keep your freedom, your dignity, your strength, for as long as possible." That's what this is really about. Because these small acts, these 5 minutes you take today, they echo. They ripple into tomorrow. They can prevent an infection. They can avoid a fall. They can even help catch a heart issue before it becomes a crisis. So right now, pause. Take 5 minutes. If you can, sit down and wash your own feet with care and intention. If you're supporting a loved one, offer to help them with gentleness, with presence. Not rushing through it. Not treating it like a chore. But making it what it truly is, a sacred act of love. Because those 5 minutes might be the reason someone you love walks confidently tomorrow. Or stays independent for another year. Or catches a problem before it becomes something life-changing. There is so much power in the quiet moments of care. And no, you don't need to be a doctor. You don't need expensive equipment. You just need your hands, your heart, and the willingness to show up. So if you've ever felt helpless watching someone grow older, if you've ever wondered what more you could do, start here. This small habit, done daily, could be the greatest gift you give. And here's the hope I want to leave with you: you're not alone. You're not powerless. Every little bit you learn, every kind act you do, builds a safer, more joyful future for someone you love. Or for you, if you're walking that journey yourself. This is how we protect the golden years. With attention. With intention. And most of all, with love. Let's take a moment to reflect together. To recap. Washing your feet daily might sound simple, but it holds power far beyond what most people imagine. It helps prevent hidden infections that can quietly become serious. It reduces your risk of dangerous falls by keeping balance and grip in check. It gives early warnings about heart issues that often show up in your feet before anywhere else. It protects your mobility, your freedom to walk, move, and live life on your own terms. And maybe most overlooked, it supports mental health and dignity, reminding you, or your loved one, that you still matter, deeply. All of that, from one small daily act. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these reasons surprised you the most? Was it the connection to heart health? The impact on mood? Or have you seen the difference foot care makes in someone close to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. This channel isn't just about videos, it's a space to connect, to learn from each other, and to feel less alone on this journey. And if this video gave you a little more clarity, a little more comfort, or even just made you feel seen, please consider giving it a like. And if you haven't yet, tap that subscribe button to join the Elders Wisdom Institute. Every week, we bring you warm, honest guidance for living stronger, aging gracefully, and caring more deeply, whether for yourself or someone you love. Because here, wisdom isn't just shared, it's lived. And as we close today, I want you to remember this: stay kind to yourself. Stay aware of the small things, because they matter. And know this: your care, no matter how small it feels, can change a life. Sometimes even save one. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay gentle, and stay W.